Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, BNI members from all around the world. It's a great honor to be here to be presenting this topic in front of you, an amazing topic which is very relevant with what we are going through right now. Because now more than ever, it is important for us to make sure that our social capital grows. And what is building opportunity through social capital? That is what I'm going to explain to you during this webinar. And if you have any questions, you can ask me during the question and answer session. Or you could even contact me or my email, which I can share later. Right. So as Jay Abraham says, there's only 3 ways to grow a business. If you want to grow a business, there's 3 ways. One is to increase the number of transactions. The second one is to increase an average transaction. And the third thing is to increase your transaction frequency. But then, in layman's terms, it's very simple. Get more new customers, get current customers to spend more, or get customers to come back more often. Now, most of us start our business hoping that this is what happens and hoping that we get more clients, get more money, and we can actually grow a business. But I have news for you. Hope is not a strategy. Okay, you can hope, but hope without the right plan is not going to get you there. And you need to take action on that plan. So, right now, after this COVID situation, we are seeing a lot of people actually kind of saying that because of the lockdown, I'm not able to grow my business. Because of the lockdown this, because of the lockdown that. Now, one thing many people don't actually realize is even before the COVID situation, their businesses were in a lockdown. So how, either their business were not growing, they were not getting new clients, or they were having too much of internal issues. And many times we have seen people saying, I wish I could take a break and kind of rethink about my strategies and kind of take it forward. Now, and in future, if you feel your business is in a lockdown, that you are not able to go ahead, this system that I'm going to share with you, the 3-take system, is something that you can actually implement in your businesses for yourself, taking action by yourself. So this is a set of processes. You have to actually sit down and work out this process yourself, because for every person, this can be the same, but what is the output is going to be different for you based on what business you're in and where you are having a challenge. So let's understand how it works. So basically, to overcome the lockdown, the business strategy is plan for the worst, expect the best, and capitalize on the now. All right, so just understand how the 3-take system. So there's 3 stages. The first stage is take up, second one is take action, and the third one is take off. Let's look at how you can take up first. Okay, what do you take up? So first thing is basically wherever your business is, whatever stage it is, you have to ensure that you keep the customers coming in. You keep ensuring that you're doing sales. So the first thing that you've got to do is whatever action you're going to take, whatever plan you're going to make sure you're still selling. So work on connecting to whatever opportunities that exist in the market right now. Keep doing it. Don't stop selling just because you're going to change something. Okay. Second thing that you got to do is so most of us, when we think about lockdown and all those things, we think about survival. Now, don't think about surviving. Think about thriving. It is important that you focus on thriving, because if you look at scaling up, if you approach your business with a scale-up mindset, that is when you are actually going to be thriving, not just surviving. And for that, you need to create a mind share. What many people miss out is, I have to go do all the stuff. You don't, if you have the right mindshare. So we're going to explain what mindshare is later on. Third thing is to basically create strategies that simplify and streamline your business. Many people overcomplicate their business. You don't need to overcomplicate your business. You can simplify your business and your strategy, especially the communication around what you do or who you do it for and how you are looking to get new customers. So streamline it, simplify it. The fourth thing is to make sure you strengthen your weak points by training learning yourself and training your staff to complement your strategy. You have to learn yourself what is the way ahead. Okay. And the important thing is you can't just implement it just like that. You got to train your staff also how to implement it. So you got to learn what is your strategy. You got to plan it out, and then you got to train your staff, give them a chance to learn, make sure they have learned the right thing so that you can roll it out properly. In the take up, the last but not least is to create multiple versions and options of your strategy. So, many people kind of get stuck. I have only one strategy to grow my business, and they kind of don't take it ahead. So a suggestion I have for you right now is to basically ensure that your strategy is not just one, you have multiple versions. So what happens if this doesn't work? What happens if that doesn't work? So kind of use strategies like the fishbone strategy, which will let you create branches if something doesn't work in the main strategy that you're creating. You've got to create those shootouts that will help you keep going and achieving what you want to achieve for your business. So once you've taken up all these things and you have worked on it, then you got to take action on it. You got to rapidly implement your simplification streamlining strategy. Just don't let it be on paper. Take action on it. Make it happen. Make it happen. Get the results. Maybe the results are not ideal. That's fine. That's why we have backup. You get those results, you get it done, you find what's the result, see if it is matching your expectations. If it is not matching, work around it. If it is exceeding, keep doing what you're doing. Okay. Adjust to the new market opportunities. So keep creating mind share. You know, the market has changed. So many a time, you know, lockdown also occurs for businesses because the market around them changed. They forgot to change. So understand what has changed in the market and adapt to it, and keep creating mind share around what has changed in the market. Support your clients, because for them also, you know, before COVID, the situation changes for them also. They keep growing, they keep changing, keep seeing new challenges. So it is important that you have to actually understand what is that clients are having as an issue right now, or what has changed for them, and work on adapting your products and services according to their needs and their problems. You got to understand the pricing challenges. So sometimes the prices change, you know, things keep getting cheaper, or keeping more expensive. You got to make sure that you understand what's really happening with regards to the pricing, because financials are a very important part of the buying decision tree, right? Value for money is something that we always tell about USPs and all those things. But at the end of the day, if your services and what you're trying to offer doesn't match the financial aspects, especially in terms of the outlay and the return on investment, what you're looking for, you can't sell. Your client doesn't buy. So you got to understand the pricing challenges and adapt your operational cost according to your strategy. You focus not just on surviving, but work to thrive again and again. Please focus on thriving. So once you take action and it starts getting in place, then it's time for you to take off. So taking off basically is building focus to scale faster than your competitors. Something starts working, scale it up faster than your competitors. Make sure that you get more customers before your competitors catch hold of it and take it to their customers. Then what happens is you start getting more sales. Your competitors start losing clients. To whom? To you. Keep empowering your mindset and focus on keeping your opportunity cost low. So, you know, many people, they kind of don't understand how opportunity cost works, because what we really have to understand is even before we get a sale, we actually spend money on that sale to get that client. So there is a customer acquisition cost that is associated with every sale that you do. Keep it low. It helps you get you more profitability for the same price or even a lower price. So, you know, the other aspect of it is it allows you to charge lower than your competition. So if you get your opportunity cost low and you start measuring it, it works. You're going to learn how. I'm going to show you how this opportunity cost actually works as we go ahead. But before much ado, I just want to tell you what mindshare is. Mindshare, the explanation is very, very basic and simple. It's just this much, okay? Just listen to me. It's very simple. Mindshare literally is the number of percentage of people that you know who think about you first when they or someone they know has a need or a problem that can be fulfilled by your services or your products. If they call you first, then you have an active mindshare there. How many people are there like that? Most of us are BNI members over here. So question I have for you is, are you there occupying the mindshare of your fellow members when it comes to your products and services? Now, this is where the beauty of BNI is, and the best way to keep empowering mindshare is, in BNI, it's give us gain. Now, other than BNI, also it's give us gain, but the fact is you've got to actively do it as a part of your networking strategy. And that is where we as BNI members and we in BNI have a very big advantage, right? So let's understand what's opportunity cost. So I spoke about keeping opportunity cost low, right? So what you see on the screen is basically the definition of what opportunity cost is. I don't want to read it out. I'm going to give you some time to read through it if you have not done it already. But what I want you to focus is on the last sentence. Such costs, however, are not recorded in the account books, but are recognized in decision making by computing the cash outlays and the resulting profit or loss. So what happens is, what they say is opportunity cost is not seen immediately. You see it later on. You see it after everything has happened and when you create your reports. So right now with the kind of technology that we have, with the kind of process and systems that we have with automated accounting, automated CRMs and all those things, It's very easy to actually calculate your opportunity cost, but the fact is you need to keep track of it yourself. Okay, you need to be focused on that. If you focus on that, what happens is you start making more money. I want to show you how. But before we actually start talking about what opportunity and everything is, please understand, going ahead in this webinar, the most important thing that you got to keep track of or keep in focus is that nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity. So what I'm going to explain in the next few slides is very important for you to understand how to not be expensive in your customer acquisition. So let's understand how we do this. Okay. So what is a business opportunity? A business opportunity basically exists for you, okay, when there are people having a need. These people have a need or they have a problem. If there's a need, you fulfill that need. If there's a problem, you solve that problem for them. Okay. But that's not enough. It's just not, those people existing is not enough. They need to decide that, yes, I'm going to buy from you. This is where every business has a model. There's a business model for every business that exists, even yours, mine, or whatever it is. Okay, whatever business it is, there's only an opportunity that exists if there are people having it, and they win the opportunity. These people decide, yes, I'm going to buy from you. Okay, what many people miss is basically that people can also say no. Your clients can say no to you, and most of the time we just accept it and we suck it up, and then we go to the next person, and we actually start trying to get the next client. What happens? So you remember the last slide, nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity. When those no's come in, there's something that actually you lose. You lose money. Why? Because to have this model in place, you need to have an infrastructure. This infrastructure costs money, and that's what is called as your overheads, your business overheads. This business overhead is being incurred regardless of whether you're closing business or not closing business. So if someone says no, you lose money. If someone says yes, you have to make the money that it costs you in terms of the overhead, and then there is a sales price and cost of sales. So you have a sales price, a cost of sales, and when you negate it from it, what you get is a gross profit on your sale. Okay, I'm just explaining this because most of us know this, but we are not aware of how this works. Okay, I have done this exercise with almost around 300 people. I have a lot of members in Qatar, BNI Qatar. I have done this with a lot of members outside of Qatar, and a lot of business owners, not in BNI also. I've kind of sat down with them and kind of had discussions with them around this. And then, when I showed them this, they suddenly so for those who are very successful, and many of you here are very successful people, for you, this will not seem new because this is what worked for you. For those who are struggling, which is the vast majority of people, in business, because when we hear about those success stories, what we fail to realize is that the success stories are basically maybe a very small percentage, maybe even the decimal point percentages of what we see as a whole. There's a lot more people who don't succeed. There's a lot of more people who struggle just because they're not aware of this. So the task here for me basically is just to get you ahead of that lockdown. If it is because of COVID, if it is because of something that you're doing wrong or something that you not realize. So what we're going to explain here, the gross profit on sale is important because profit exists at different levels. Okay, many people, when I ask this question, they just kind of say profits. It's not profit. You got to understand what profit is, at what level it is. So understanding this, going ahead, if you look at it, there's a margin. Okay, so on a sale, you create a profit on the sale, gross profit on the sale. It's called as a margin percentage. Okay, margin percentage is equal to the gross profit divided by selling price into 100. This is something that many people kind of don't get, and I really want to just show. It's basic mathematics, but at the end of the day, it's something many people make kind of miss when they're pricing their products. So let's estimate that you have a service that costs $1,000 for you, everything inclusive. Your cost is $1,000. Let's say that you are gonna say that you're gonna put a 40% margin on this before you sell it to your client. So when I ask people, okay, 40% margin on $1,000, what's your selling price? 95% of the people tell me it's 1,400, right? So 1,400, 95% people say this. What do the other 5% people say? I'm going to show you what they tell me. Okay. So when this happens, your selling price becomes 1,400. So if it's 40% and 1,400. Now, if you look at the margin calculation over there, the margin over here, we're going to do the margin calculation. Okay, so, okay. Now you're saying, okay, we said it's 40%. Why are you calculating this margin now? So I'm going to just show you this. Gross profit is 400 divided by 1,400 into 100 will only give you, I'm just going to take up my calculator, guys. 400 divided by 1,400. So what it gives you is 28.57. But where did that approximately 11.5% go? Because you said it's 40%, but where did it go? This is where you really have to understand. 95% of business owners make a mistake of estimating the sales price based on the cost price. And when they review their performance, when their financial auditors or their accountants review their performance, they basically review it based on what you have made on the selling price. This is the mismatch. What is a danger? Okay, you might be going like, it's basic mathematics. Why are you telling us this? Mistake that many people do is they kind of put a lot of things to chance, right? So what are miscellaneous expenses that creep in because you didn't see something when you were delivering services to your client? That is your buffer. You say, most business owners kind of say plus or minus 5% for me because, yeah, maybe I'll incur costs. You take that 5% off from 28.5%, not from 40%. So what happens is your profit goes down. Now we are in dangerous zone because that amount that you make as a gross profit might be lesser than what you need to actually meet your overheads. I'm going to show you how. But before I go there, so you're going to ask me, right, then how should I be pricing it now? So I can see a lot of people asking me, how should I be pricing it then? Right, so I'm going to give you a very basic formula. It's a no-brainer, but this is like many people don't know this. When you divide 1,000 by 0.6, you get 1,666. Okay, and now if you calculate the margin, 666 divided by 1,666 into 100. If you look at that formula, what it gives you is 666 divided by 1,666. What gives you is 39.97. So if you do some points down. So you see, if you want to make 40% margin on that sale, divide by 0.6. Okay. If you want to, so I'm just going to say, so if you want 40%, you divide 1,000 divided by whatever is your cost price divided by 0.6. If you want to make 70%, you put, okay, I made a mistake over here, divided by, okay. You divide 1,000 by 0.7. If it's 80%, you divide it by 0.2. So you kind of get the trend, right? So whatever is it that you want to make as a percentage of profit, right? You kind of, 70%. I need to go back now. Okay, guys, sorry. If it's 30%, make it 0.7. If it is 20%, make it 0.8. But then again, if it is 80%, you divide it by 0.2. Okay, so you kind of get the trend. If it's 15%, 0.85. If it's 5%, 0.95. Check it out. You'll be surprised, and you will get exactly that amount as your the margin that you're looking for. So with that, I'm just going to take this ahead. Basic mathematics, but just creating awareness around this. When you take the total gross profit on sales over a cumulative period of time, and then you look at the gross profit for that period, and then you negate the overheads for that period, that's when you got a profit or loss. So you'll see three different definitions of profit over here. One is the gross profit on sale, gross profit for the period, and then net profit. Now, this is your profitability model. And again, your business might be making a loss for a specific period, but overall it might be in profit because you got to take those figures into your balance sheet. Only then will you know what's the carry forwards and all those things. Leave it, have a good accountant or a good audit to look at what your operational costs are. Make sure you know how to read your profit and loss and balance sheet. Many people don't. Most business owners start businesses without understanding this. It's about, if you need to really overcome the lockdown, you got to know this stuff. You got to you train yourself at this point of time on how to actually read your balance sheet and profit and loss. Okay. Many of you would have been doing it already, but guys, those who have not been doing, please do it right now. Now, you really have to understand the decision, basically. So, we want to reduce the cost of overheads, and we need to actually reduce our opportunity cost and get more profitable, right? It comes from understanding what happens on the other side, why they're blank spaces. So people decide to buy from you because of credibility. We hear it all the time, BNI, visibility, credibility, profitability, right? What is credibility? It's about two things, your competence and your character. When your credibility is set, now again, with regards to credibility, you really have to understand how this works. It's not about what you think is your credibility. It's about what the other person sees as your credibility. What does your client see in you? That is based on what they will buy from you. If you have lost a lot of deals before thinking that I have done everything I need to do to get my credibility up and running. Now, if they are not buying, it's just because of my luck. No, it's because they haven't seen the credibility that they are looking for. And when people see enough credibility in you, what they do is they basically establish relationships with you. Now, in this 4 squares that you see here, relationship, people having a decision, credibility, please understand it's a balance of these 4 things that will get you the yes, that will help you close a sale. There's a lot of advanced sales strategies and everything, but at the basic level, what I would tell is if you get this 4 things in a balance, in the right balance, you keep on getting yes. So let me just explain this for you, okay? If the person you're speaking to, if the people you're speaking to are people who doesn't have a need for what you're trying to provide, they don't have a problem that actually needs your service and products, you're in the wrong place. If you're speaking to someone who's not the decision maker, now I'm sure a lot of you have gone through this situation where you speak to one person, spend months with him, trying to close that deal, and suddenly he tells, I'm sorry, but then, the HQ took a decision, the regional manager took a decision, I'm sorry, I have to let you go right now. I'm sorry, you don't have an option. Guys, you need to speak to the decision maker. You need to make your credibility aware to the right decision maker. If your credibility is not being perceived properly, you will not get to the yes. If you do not create the right relationship with that person, like, you are competent, but the person doesn't really like you, then again, you have a problem. And so get those 4 squares in a good balance, those 4 rectangles that you see there, boxes that you see there, get that in the right balance. And then what happens is you will start getting more yeses. When you start getting more yeses, of course, you start making more money, right? But then you reduce the number of no's. When you start reducing the number of no's, what you really have to understand over here is your opportunity cost starts becoming cheaper. You stop losing money, right? That's the important part here. So actually for the same price, you start closing more sales, which drives up your profitability in 2 ways. Not just that you're closing more sales, but you're also losing less money servicing the non-sales. That is an important aspect. That is why social capital is important, because I'm going to show you what is social capital right now. Creating relationships take time. Okay. Now, time again is directly related to overheads, because the more time it takes, the more overheads that you incur, the more cost you incur. So if you want to remove time of this, if you want to directly influence the time, you need to have a positive mindset. There should be more people knowing about you and know that they have to call you first when it comes to a problem or a need that you can take care of. How many of them are there, guys? This is what is a social capital. It's very, very simple. It's not very complicated. You get this right, your business will do nothing but grow. It just keeps growing. And this is where BNI helps you. This is the beauty of a platform like BNI, because it lets you empower your social capital. Okay, I hope I'm sure most of you know all these things, but then getting this in a framework where you really understand how it all comes together is very, very powerful. This has helped me make my results and what I was doing in BNI when I was a member very powerful, and then it is helping me to help more members make more money, right? So those people who get this right and start implementing this properly, they just get their profitability model also running well, get their business model running well, and they get their social capital also being empowered. So what's funny about this model? If you remove the profitability out of this thing and you just focus, okay, sorry, I missed one thing. So to keep empowering mindshare, one thing you got to understand is it's not about people knowing what you do. It's about them knowing who is it that has a need or a problem that you can solve. What can you do for those people, and why should you be the one? The biggest mistake most networkers make, as Dr. Ivan keeps on saying, is trying to tell people what you do. Stop telling people what you do. Tell them who you can help. Tell them what you do to help them, and then why you should be. And see how differently your referrals will actually start coming to you. It will come to you in much, much more faster manner than before, because they know who you need to meet. Please think counterintuitively when it comes to networking. Don't tell people what you do. Tell people who you can help or what need of theirs you can solve. Okay, that's very important. So when you look at BNI, what is a BNI opportunity? So let's understand how BNI can become an opportunity driver for you. All right. So how BNI becomes an opportunity driver for you. The who here is BNI members, your fellow BNI members. What they need to do is to refer you. They need to feel, yes, I got to refer Shabeeb. I got to refer Steve, right? And then they need to take a decision. Why? Because you're the most credible person that they know in your industry. When you join, it's not there. But then as time goes, as you do your one-to-one, as you do your weekly presentations, feature presentations, all those tools that BNI gives you to improve your credibility, they start seeing you as the most credible person in the room, in your industry, not just in the room. The important thing again here is your credibility only goes up when people see, hear, and feel what you're doing inside during the meetings. Are you there on camera? Are you listening to people? Are you answering their asks? Are you really helping people win? And the relationships go up when people see, hear, and feel what you're doing outside the room. Are you taking them for referral meetings? Are you actively bringing visitors? Are you actually, actively passing them referrals? Are you doing your one-to-ones here? That's what I was trying to remember. So one-to-ones. So when you do these things, actually your credibility goes up and your relationship goes up. Okay. And then what happens is your positive mind share actually becomes more important. The fact is, BNI as a system helps you get that power. It helps you get that power. So use this. It's about having that product that we call as BNI in front of you, but you're not using all the features, right? So, I've seen a lot of people buy a high-end mobile, but they don't use even half the features. So you got to know how to use it. So educate yourself, practice lifelong learning, just like how you're practicing it right now. Amazing stuff, right? And I'm really appreciate all of you who are here and all of you who are going to watch the recording for taking your time to understand how you can succeed. It's important. It's important to learn how you can use that the beautiful thing that you have called BNI that you have actually bought and use it properly. Okay. Opportunities are never lost, they're taken by others. So please understand that, okay, those people don't go away. The people who have the need and the problems, they don't go away. They go to someone else. It becomes more expensive to get them back, right? So let's understand what's the definition of opportunity in words. An opportunity for our business is to find the people who have the need for what we have to offer, and we can convince them why they must decide to buy from us. If you don't win the opportunity, we lose money. We saw that, right? You keep on servicing all those no's. You have to understand that you lose money. Definition of a great opportunity. A great opportunity for us to grow a business is to get the referrals due to positive mind share from people we share a relationship with, to the people who have the need for what we have to offer, and they're already aware of our credibility and know why they have to decide to buy from us. So whatever you saw in that diagram, I've just paraphrased it. Okay. It is great because it saves us money by reducing our opportunity cost. Okay. It's very important that you got to understand this. I'm seeing a question here. What are three keys to success, business success? So I have four. Okay, the four keys for me is passion, patience, perseverance, and persistence. Okay, so the four keys for me is passion, patience, perseverance, and persistence. You have to be passionate about what you're doing. Be patient because the results are not going to come immediately. It's going to take some time. Sometimes it comes. If you're lucky, it just comes like that. Be perseverant. Everything is not going to be in your advantage. You gotta work hard. Maybe you gotta fight for some opportunities. You gotta make sure that you're persevering. Okay, you persist. When something works, make it work again and again. Persist with it. Keep persisting. So that's 4 P's for me. Okay, I hope that helps you guys. Now, before I end, I just want to share this beautiful phrase by Dr. Ivan, our founder, chief executive, someone who I really respect as someone who has changed my life. Referrals are very powerful. When I refer you, I give a little bit of my reputation away. If you do a good job, my friend that hired you is pleased. But if you do a bad job, that reflects badly on me. People forget that. So guys, when someone gives you their positive mind share, please respect that with the best intention possible. Please understand that what they have given you is a gift. What you have received is a miracle. Make sure you respect it and you keep ensuring that you take care of it in the best way possible. With that, we go to the question and answer session. Steve, I leave it to you. You can look at the questions.